In the previous spoiler, it was mentioned that Luo Feng used the laser cannon of the automaton race spaceship to successfully help Mo Luo escape and quickly fled to avoid attracting more illusion beasts. During their escape, Mo Luo shared his analysis and summary of the strengths and frequencies of the demonic sounds. However, since Luo Feng's willpower had already reached the pinnacle of the World Master level, and the strongest demonic sounds in the Demon Mountain, aside from a few special areas, were only at the World Master level and appeared infrequently, they posed almost no threat to Luo Feng's life. Therefore, unlike Mo Luo, Luo Feng did not analyze the frequency of the demonic sounds in detail but continued to focus on his exploration. Notably, consciousness and willpower are, to some extent, distinct concepts. The strength of consciousness is determined by the soul. A powerful consciousness can control more spiritual energy weapons and, in certain situations, compensate for the lack of refinement in spiritual energy, thereby forcibly executing higher-level energy attacks despite limited comprehension of the original law. Willpower, on the other hand, originates from the strength of one's state of mind. A strong willpower not only enables resistance to more potent illusion attacks but also disrupts an opponent's mental state, directly influencing the outcome of battles. Since consciousness is constrained by the soul, and the soul is limited by the cultivator's physical quality, this means that unless one possesses special secret techniques to enhance consciousness, the strength of consciousness is closely related to the cultivator's level. For this reason, the current golden horned beast at the Domain Master level 9, despite having only the consciousness of a World Master level 3, can possess the willpower of a pinnacle World Master. Back to the plot. After flying some distance, they arrived at a peculiar region filled with deep craters. Just as Luo Feng was completely off guard, Mo Luo suddenly kicked him fiercely and simultaneously fired a laser beam from his C-grade laser gun into one of the craters. Although the C-grade laser gun in Mo Luo's hand posed no substantial threat to Luo Feng's life, this strike triggered a dramatic increase in the crater's devouring force. Luo Feng never expected that Mo Luo's gentlemanly demeanor, always displayed in the virtual universe company, was nothing more than an elaborate facade. To vie for status and resources within the company, Mo Luo was willing to ruthlessly turn on his comrades. Originally, Luo Feng planned to use the Masha clan clone's elusive movement techniques and the copy ability to escape quickly, but the devouring force emanating from the crater far exceeded the limits of the Masha clan clone. Even with the assistance of Mo Yunvine, Luo Feng could not resist and was ultimately pulled into the crater by the overwhelming devouring force. In the vast universe, no matter how extraordinary one's talent may be, a single misstep before becoming a peerless powerhouse could lead to a tragic demise. This is why the path to greatness is often paved with countless corpses. Thus, becoming a true powerhouse requires not only exceptional talent but also great fortune and rare opportunities. Had it been another core member, Mo Luo's betrayal might have already sealed their fate, resulting in their death on the spot. Fortunately, Luo Feng possesses the Masha clan clone. Realizing that he could not withstand the devouring force of the pit, he swiftly transformed into his illusion beast form. Although he understood that being trapped in a deadly trap within this mysterious realm left him with a slim chance of survival, Luo Feng refused to give up. While desperately resisting the devouring force, he also struggled to calm himself, attempting to think of possible ways to save himself. For Luo Feng, if there was even a sliver of hope, he would never give up the fight. This is also the area where Bolan is most likely to reappear after his disappearance. Within these special regions, the powerful devouring force can cause magnetic field disturbances, rendering even the most advanced detection devices ineffective in the cosmic secret realm. Especially large-scale detection instruments, which are much less precise than smaller-range ones. Therefore, it is not impossible that the interference from the chaotic magnetic field could prevent accurate location of Bolan. For this reason, even a powerful being like a universe-venerable powerhouse could demise in the secret realm due to the loss of detection device assistance. Assuming that Bolan was injured while resisting the powerful devouring force. To avoid being disturbed by the demonic sounds illusions, surrounded by a group of illusion beasts, or threatened by other participants, he might have been unable to establish a connection with the virtual universe while wounded. Therefore, he would have had no choice but to disconnect. Of course, there is also the possibility that he has already encountered an unfortunate end in this area with chaotic magnetic fields, losing his life here. Do you remember that after the Nine Swords Venerable issued the mission, the King Immortal, Long Yu raised doubts? After all, the Virtual Universe Company has never interfered with the life and death trials of geniuses during cultivation tasks. It is only through experiencing true life and death challenges that true powerhouses can be forged. However, the Nine Swords Venerable's original intention was not only to have the geniuses face life and death challenges but also to uncover more hidden information about who targeting the human race during their mission. Although some details of the storyline have been adapted, the reward point system for the task remains unchanged. This may hint that Luo Feng will eventually succeed in finding Bolan. However, the task instructions did not explicitly require the target to be alive. Therefore, even if Luo Feng can only find Bolan's corpse or relics, it would still count as completing the mission. Of course, the audience undoubtedly expects a rematch between Luo Feng and Bolan, hoping to witness how Luo Feng's strength has surpassed that of Bolan. To satisfy the audience's expectations, I believe the production team will present us with a living Bolan, as otherwise, the story would be quite regrettable. Back to the plot. When Luo Feng fell to the bottom of the deep pit, a shocking scene appeared before his eyes. He was astonished to find that over 100 million illusion beasts had gathered at the bottom of the pit, some of which were even of the immortal level. Fortunately, Luo Feng decisively transformed into the form of an illusion beast at the critical moment, or else he would have been surrounded and trampled by tens of thousands of illusion beasts the moment he reached the bottom, just like the other unfortunate warriors who fell. Such an attack would be impossible for even a world master level powerhouse to escape from, let alone face the energy shots from immortal level illusion beasts, which would reduce a world master to ashes in an instant. It should be noted that the natural instinct of illusion beasts is to attack all life forms other than illusion beasts. For this reason, Luo Feng, disguised as an illusion beast, was able to avoid the deadly crisis and temporarily gain a slim chance of survival among the illusion beast herd. Although illusion beasts do not attack each other, Luo Feng remained highly alert and cautiously mimicked their clumsy movements as he moved forward slowly. After carefully advancing for 2 months, he was astonished to discover that this special area contained around 30 floating palaces. What surprised Luo Feng even more was that over half of the palaces were covered by a white light barrier, which effectively blocked all illusion beasts attempting to enter. Meanwhile, the palaces without light barriers became easy targets for the illusion beasts to breach. Luo Feng attempted to fly toward one of the palaces, only to find that he could not break through the white light barrier, but he could easily enter the palaces that lacked a protective barrier. However, something shocking happened. When Luo Feng stepped onto the plaza in front of the palace, the white light suddenly rose, enveloping the entire palace. No matter how the illusion beasts outside struck, they could no longer enter the palace. At the same time, Luo Feng was surprised to discover that, even with Babata holding the advanced detector left by Huyan Bo, they were unable to perform any effective scans within the palace. The signal here was completely blocked. This also meant that Bolan had likely entered one of the many palaces by sheer luck, preventing the outside world from detecting and locking onto his whereabouts. Not long after Luo Feng stepped onto the plaza in front of the palace, 2 immortal-level beings descended into the deep pit. Through their conversation, Luo Feng learned that this was a forbidden land of inheritance, and the floating structures in the air were indeed inheritance palaces. For safety, Luo Feng left his Masha clan clone, which had transformed into an illusion beast, along with the crucial life core on the plaza, while his human body attempted to enter the palace to see if he could acquire an inheritance. Only after confirming safety, he withdraws his Masha clan clone back into his body. When Luo Feng stepped into the palace, a long staircase suddenly rose, and with it, the corresponding legacy messages surged into his mind. In fact, these palaces were the inheritance sites of the Demon Sound Divine General, focusing on the cultivation of soul secret techniques. Life forms without souls could not receive the inheritance, and those fortunate enough to accept it, once they completed all the inheritances, could become universe overload level existences. However, despite billions of years passing and more than 100,000 people having tried to accept the inheritance, none have succeeded, highlighting the difficulty of the inheritance. As Luo Feng is happily accepting the inheritance, he did not anticipate that he would occupy the inheritance slot of a marquee immortal. If that marquee immortal knew that his slot had been taken by Luo Feng, he would probably slap Luo Feng to death. In fact, the inheritance of the Demon Sound Divine General is a system designed to guide inheritors in practicing soul secret techniques. Even if one cannot complete all the teachings, the secret techniques learned from the inheritance can still greatly enhance the cultivator's abilities, as these techniques can significantly increase the amplitude of their spiritual energy. It should be noted that, under normal circumstances, whether it's physical strength or spiritual energy, it is nearly impossible to break the 100-fold limit before becoming immortal. Only special secret techniques can break this limitation. For example, the Golden Horned Beast's innate secret technique Enhancement, and its special technique Deity of the World, both can break the 100-fold limit of physical strength. Meanwhile, the inheritance of the Demon Sound Divine General can allow the amplitude of spiritual energy to surpass the 100-fold limit. Luo Feng immersed himself fully in the cultivation within the inheritance palace, unable to divert his attention to anything else. After a full year without connecting to the virtual universe, the virtual universe company began to suspect and speculate that Luo Feng might have already perished, causing great concern for his master, the King Immortal Jinyan. Upon learning that Mo Luo had also taken the Demon Mountain mission, Jinyan decided to investigate Luo Feng's whereabouts. However, what no one expected was that Mo Luo not only repaid kindness with betrayal but also slandered Luo Feng, accusing Luo Feng of ambushing him in the Demon Mountain. Fortunately, Jinyan knew Luo Feng's character well and did not easily trust Mo Luo's one-sided words. Jinyan had tried multiple times to contact Luo Feng but had received no response. Meanwhile, Luo Feng had been cultivating in the palace for a full 3 years. As to whether he successfully completed the inheritance or gained any benefits from it, allow me to share that in the next spoiler. Well, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching this video. Wish you a wonderful day.